What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place in the World Wide Web where we adopt similar connections despite our differences, even if we're watching Big Brother. And if this is your first time seeing me, I definitely want you guys to subscribe. I do a lot and have done a lot on this channel. Also, I would love for you to subscribe to my online streaming platform. It's a mini Netflix. It's called watchactv.com. So definitely go to that. We produce original scripted content that we upload on a weekly basis. And I also share other creators' content on the platform. So if you are a content creator, you have short films or series, and you would love to stream it in multiple places, definitely do that. You can utilize my platform as well and potentially gain some revenue. I want to talk about the 10 points of discussion for this week. I did it last video and I think it helped me organize myself. So I'm going to go and start right off the rip. We are reviewing BB24. First point of discussion. Michael tells Monty and Taylor about what Kyle said. I was watching the live feeds and they didn't show the discussion on the live feeds. I'm glad that they showed it on the edited version, although I would have loved to have seen it unedited, but at least we got to see some little bit of the conversation. And to be honest, I don't know if Monty's and Taylor's reactions were a bit more energetic, because what we saw on TV, it was like Michael hadn't revealed anything to them. They were so quiet and mute in the edited version. So I don't know, it was shocking to see it. Maybe they were in shock themselves, but from the edited version, Michael was doing the most talking. So I don't really have an opinion on it. I'm glad that we saw it, you know, but at that moment, I would have loved to have seen more or have heard more from them in that particular moment. But maybe they were just like in full shock, right? Who knows? Michael tells Alyssa, and I'm saying Michael because Michael is the voice of Michael and Brittany. Brittany doesn't really have her own voice, hasn't established her own anything at all. At all since the whole season. So it's Michael. And, you know, Michael's conversation with Alyssa, we see way more. We see Alyssa talking more. We hear her points of view. You know, we hear everything about what Alyssa had to say. And I don't know, I was a bit let down by that. It seems like whenever the Black House guests talk about racism or give their, give their thoughts, give their thoughts or opinions, the show cuts, or we get to see cats or dogs, or we see somebody in the kitchen. But when all the white folks, you know, carry on about their feelings and their thoughts about racism, we get to see the whole conversation. I don't really care for it all like that. It's not really pretty hot and tempted. So I was a bit perturbed that we got to see how Alyssa felt and what her thoughts were, and the fact that she wasn't a part of it and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care about how Alyssa feels. I really don't. So I wasn't really pressed to see her conversation. Then Michael tells Turner, and again, I don't really care for Turner all like that because of the way he did Joseph. And his excuse for doing Joseph that way was because he felt like he was on the bottom of the totem pole in the leftovers, because Joseph told them that Taylor, Michael, and Brittany had a final three and they wanted him to be in the final three. But what really aggravated me about this episode, or about this week, regarding Turner and Monty, when they have found out that other people were in other alliances, they were talking about, oh my God, how could they betray me? Or I felt so betrayed. They didn't tell me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but the leftovers was an afterthought of the pound. So how is Turner walking around here saying, oh, I felt betrayed? How dare Taylor and Michael have an alliance within the leftovers? Y'all have an alliance within the leftovers. And Monty was feeling like expressing himself in the same way, and I just really didn't understand that. And the fact that Turner had a hard-on for Taylor because Taylor was seeking a final three with Michael and Brittany just made no absolute sense to me. And it was like, that's going to be the fuel to get her out of the game because I feel betrayed. What? And then on top of that, like, the fact that Turner even was a part, Turner and Kyle were a part of the pound. For them to put Joseph with Joseph, it just made no sense, especially on Turner's behalf. But of course, you know, Kyle was all about Alyssa. That's all he wanted. That's all he cared about. And so that's why he did what he did. But Turner has no freaking excuse whatsoever. So I didn't really care about Turner's perspective on things. I don't really care. I don't really care how Alyssa and Turner feel. I don't care. Kyle confronts Brittany. Kyle is receiving heat. And, you know, he talks to Alyssa. And Alyssa doesn't even want to say anything to him. Alyssa doesn't even want to use the R word. Alyssa doesn't even want to, she's just like, huh? I'm sleeping, huh? What? I think you should go talk to them upstairs. Like she doesn't want to be caught saying anything foul. She doesn't know what to tell this man. She don't want to be in it at all. But she spills a little bit because she cares for him. And he's like, what? The R word, oh my God, that's bigger than game. That's gonna ruin my life. I'm just gonna leave. And I'm like, okay, we'll just leave. Like, I don't care. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about what these people think about what's happening. I don't. Because they don't matter in the scenario. They just do not, okay? And so for me, I'm like, whatever, child. Can we get off them and go back to Terrence, Monty, and Taylor? Because that's all that matters. They are who all that matters. This whole entire week, nobody else matters but the three of them. That's all I want to see on my screen. But that's not all I'm seeing on my screen, and I'm perturbed. So, you know, he's feeling his emotions and feeling all emotional, doesn't know what to do. He's like, can I go to the diary room? The diary room's not responding. They're like, oh, we're not available. And he's like, no, y'all need to... The diary room's so shady. You know, he was at the first one. He was like, no one's available for the diary room. Then he went upstairs. No one's available for the diary room. Then he got his mic. Look, y'all better bring somebody out here because I need to... I need to speak to somebody right now. I need somebody in the diary room. I bet they got somebody to go to see him in the diary room. They sure enough did. Y'all better get off y'all coffee break and go help this man out before he exploded in his house. But yeah, Kyle confronts Brittany about it. So then there's a house meeting. They didn't show the house meeting in the feeds. So I wanted to know what this house meeting consisted of. And the house meeting was okay. I feel like there was a lot more said, but we got the Cliff Note version of it, which is, I guess, okay. Again, only people I wanted to hear from was Taylor, Monty, and Terrence. I didn't need to hear nothing else by nobody else. But it was very interesting how Kyle, like, spilled the whole beans. And you could kind of get the sense that Kyle had been wrestling with the lying stuff that he'd been doing the whole, like, you know, he's had conversations with Brittany about it or whatever the case may be. So he's been really, really not feeling the best lying in all of this. At the same time, he's been carrying on with the lies. But you could tell, like, in this house meeting, he was like, Turner and I had a final two and blah, blah. And Turner right away was like, I didn't know nothing about this. Don't be trying to pin this on me. I didn't know nothing about this, bruh. Don't do that. I was like, these white people better be scared. Like, they better be scared. At least they are aware. Like, you know, they're aware, right? I guess. But anyways, the house meeting, I don't know. Like, no one was in an outrage towards Kyle. And it's not like I wanted them to be. I guess we got to see what we needed to see, I guess. You know, people getting emotional. But what was the most poignant part of the house meeting was the fact that Terrence said out of his mouth that he's upset that Kyle had Terrence get rid of Joseph, and Joseph was telling the truth the whole time. He said, this is something that I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. And that in and of itself was the house meeting for me, because I feel like it was reminiscent of what that girl did to Davon against David. How, I think her name was Nicole, how Nicole lied on David and told Davon a lie and had Davon yelling and mad at David the whole time. And I'm like, whoa, like, don't do that. And I feel like it was the same thing that Kyle did to Terrence, putting up two people of color and you know, the white man coming through and telling him, like, this one did this and this one did that. You shouldn't like them no more. And what does Terrence do? Terrence gets rid of Joseph off the strength of a white man that in his mind thought that all the colored people were in an alliance together. That's rough. That is so rough. And to hear Terrence get emotional on that, I thoroughly appreciated seeing that part in the meeting. And you know, Monty cursing in the meeting, I wanted to see that too, because you know, I don't know who's watching this. I don't know if everybody's black watching me or if somebody is, you know, if y'all of another race or whatever. But I'm tired. I am, like Monty said, I'm tired of the narrative always being about my skin color. I'm over it. Over it. And I just knew that the cookout was just going to further the storyline of racism on this show. You know, everybody was like, oh, it's a positive thing. We're not going to have to worry about this moving forward. The lies. I said this last season. The black people over the next season are going to have it out for them. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. And sure enough, where we think that The Leftovers is about to be the best alliance ever in Big Brother history because it is completely diverse and there's no conversation about race at all in this show, we get a conversation about race from a white person. And now the whole landscape of the season is completely changed. Tired of it. Tired of it. Just completely tired of it. Number 6, Kyle talks to Monty and Taylor. Okay, Kyle talks to Monty. I thought that was a very, I thought it was like, so like heartwarming and like gut wrenching. Like it was just like, oh, like I felt for Kyle because he clearly was showing remorse, and I felt for Monty. And it was not interesting, but every time Taylor didn't really show much emotion at all. I think Taylor is so fried being in this house that she doesn't really have much of it to give. And on top of that, I'm sure in the pageant world, she's already had to deal with that. Just in life, Taylor has been through enough. She's not given much of any kind of like tears in this. It's time for Monty and Terrence to show some kind of tears because they haven't been through anything in the house. And boy, are they showing tears. You know, they definitely are showing tears. So the moment that Kyle and Monty shared was like, aw. The moment that Taylor and Kyle shared was like, as a matter of fact, baby girl. What? Taylor is like the creme de la creme of how every person should be in Big Brother. I would be so cool with that girl. Her and I, we would have had the best of time. She didn't handle her HOH, and she hasn't wanted anything since. And that's fine. But as a human being, as a person playing this game, she is exemplary on how a human being should be in life and in this game, period. And I, for one, we're going to get there. But Taylor is just the definition of a masterclass queen, the best of the best. Like, wow. Wow, Taylor. Her response to Kyle was very much, you know, it's interesting that if I was Alyssa, I would be afforded all of the opportunities that you're getting right now. But I'm not, and I haven't. My journey in this house has been horrible. You've been a part of it. But here I am sitting here showing you grace. Girl, she ain't say that, but in so many words, she said that to that boy. And when I tell you, it was just like, sis, ooh, like, Taylor is freaking amazing. Not good at comps, but she is, what? I'm here for Taylor. I'm completely here for Taylor and how she's handling the situation with Kyle. The house is looking at Michael sideways. I already expressed how I felt about it in my last video. I don't understand why black people are expecting a white person to feel authentically for us when they're not black. Like what? What are we talking about? Like that's just like a person who isn't handicapped parking in a handicapped space just so they can be closer to the store. They don't have a handicap sticker on it, but they don't care. They don't care because they're not handicapped. They're taking advantage of it, thinking that they can get away with it, and they're gonna walk in the store and be like, whatever. I'm not handicapped, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like that's if you're not living the life of a black person, you will never get it. You will never get it. Ever. You may empathize, but you will never get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's because you in your life never have to deal with the stuff that I have to deal with. You don't have to worry about it. If I'm standing in front of a cop, the cop is coming after me way before they come after you. You don't have to deal with the problems I have to deal with, so you will never understand. I would never expect Michael to be like, oh my God, look, oh my God, I can't believe what he said. Y'all, I need to tell you. What? Like, they don't, like, people, the majority of white people don't think that way. So why are we wanting them to? I don't understand. I just don't understand it. It would have been nice, but I get why he didn't say anything. But anyways, you know, everybody in their feelings about it. Oh, you know, Michael should have said something. You know, no, whatever. Anyways, y'all feel how y'all feel. I feel how I feel. We can adopt similar connections despite our differences and move on. Taylor shows so much grace to Kyle, and the whole house does. During the speech that, you know, they had during the veto ceremony or whatever, you know, Kyle takes down Brittany and puts up Kyle. I feel like in that moment, Michael should have showed Taylor grace. That would have made sense only because Michael proclaimed to have had so much care and concern for Taylor and like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry we're going through this and blah, 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 blah. And like, he expressed that he cared or whatever. I felt like he could have extended that or showed that even further by taking Taylor down and leaving Brittany up and putting Kyle next to Brittany. Brittany was not going to go home. He could have showed that grace at least, but he didn't. Ultimately, Taylor is safe. Taylor is not going home because of what Michael and Brittany did. So, you know, at the end of the day, his actions in turn saved Taylor, to be honest, because Taylor was going home. Let's be clear. Taylor was going home. So everybody can be butthurt and mad at Michael, but Taylor is in the house because of Michael and Brittany's actions and because of Kyle's actions. So it is what it is. So Taylor has another day to be safe. And Taylor is not going home because why? Michael was HOH. Number 9, Michael was HOH and puts up Terrence and Alyssa. So Taylor is still safe. But to be honest, Taylor is in a grand position. At least she's not a big D. You know, at least she's not a big D. At least Brittany, nobody in the house is a big D except for Alyssa. Alyssa hasn't won anything and neither is Big D. So Alyssa doesn't have a shot in hell to win this game. A shot in hell to win this game. So it makes all the more sense to keep Alyssa in it to the final 2. She's not being picked to win this game at all. At all. Her social game is not that unbelievable for me to decide to give her $750,000. And she's not winning anything. She had no strategy the whole game. She's just been someone's plug for the pain, and that's been that. Like that, and she's shedding tears and stuff. Like what? You know, it is what it is. Who do I want to win? I want Taylor to win without a doubt. I want Taylor to win. The list of people that I want to win from number 1 to last is Taylor, then Monty, then Michael, then Brittany, then Turner, then Terrence. That's the order of the people that I want to win and how I want them to win it. Alyssa, She could be dead last. Well, Terrence is last. Alyssa could be before. No, Terrence is before Alyssa. No. Terrence is last because of the way he's treated Taylor. And I feel like, to be honest, to extend on that and to expound on that, I feel like Monty and Terrence, more Terrence than Monty, because Monty has, you know, apologized multiple times to Taylor. And it seems like him and Taylor get along to some degree. But Terrence can't be mad at, and I don't think I think he was mad that he ended up sending Joseph home, but he just can't give too much because of the way he's treated Taylor in the house. To be honest, that's just how I feel. Like, you can't be like, oh my God, our black people, and you're treating Taylor like trash. You can't be like, oh my God, my black people, and you had a white man step up and take. Ain't no way in hell that would have happened if I was there. It's just no way. It's no way that would have happened. Like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Like, ain't no way in hell Daniel would approach Taylor like that with me in the house. What? Are you serious? Ciao, honey. What are we talking about here? And Terrence and Monty, especially Terrence was right there. Terrence and Monty just let that happen. Jasmine and Amira just let that happen. And both Amira and Jasmine were like, oh, I just didn't want to, I did it for game. I didn't want to step out because of the game. I'm bringing it back. I'm circling it back. I'm circling it back, baby. A lot of these people are making decisions based on their gameplay. A lot of these people are making decisions based on their gameplay. So how are we giving Amira and Jasmine grace for not sticking? Well, maybe they aren't. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they're getting run down. But I don't know. We're extending grace to Amira and Jasmine for not sticking up for Taylor, and they're black. And they're black. But like, I feel like that the disdain and hate towards Michael is way bigger than the disdain and hate towards Jasmine and Amira for some reason. Like, I know Jazzy was spoke about in Twitter, and I know Amira was spoke about in Twitter, but I feel like everybody's getting a hard on for Michael more so than Jasmine and Amira, and I just don't understand when those women are black. Anyways, y'all leave your comments below this video and let me know your thoughts. I don't know. I'm interested in Big Brother. I really am. But, and you know, before I did this video, I was thinking to myself, there hasn't been a gay black man on the show, but there was last season. Like what? Like what? They allowed for him to be the first gay black man? Like someone that was yelling up a storm and calling Tiffany out her name, like a black woman out her name. Someone that won no competition the whole entire season. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, that was the first black gay representation? What are we talking about here? What? I don't know. I don't know. I want Taylor to win the game. I want Taylor to win the game. If Taylor goes up against Kyle, no. If Taylor goes up against anybody in the house, she has a chance. Period. She's beating Alyssa. She's beating Brittany. She's beating Terrence. She has a chance against Turner. She has a chance against Monty. And she has a chance against, well, no, probably not. I don't think she has a chance against Monty. I don't. Because Monty ran her HOH. But she has a chance against Turner. She has a chance. But she has a chance. She has more of a chance against Alyssa, Brittany, Terrence, then Turner, then Michael, then Monty. But she has one hell of an argument. Oh my God, she has one hell of an argument against Michael. Oh my God. And then, you know, I can just see it because Michael is so analytical and smart. Like, what? Anyways, that would be amazing to watch a battle between Taylor and Michael. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought. I'm glad that CBS showed what they showed. I just wish they showed more. And we have double eviction. Double eviction coming up on Thursday. And I just hope Taylor does not go home. Taylor is the only one that I want left in the game, to be honest. Even though she sucks at comps. She's just a phenomenal person. Anyways, and she's been through so much throughout the house. She's been through so much. She's been through so much in the house. Like, oh, and the shade that shot her through Kylan. The shade that shot her through Kylan when she was on that Alliance, BB Alliance show or whatever she does or whatever. She said that you should never go against anyone's family, anyone's children, anyone's something else she said and something else she said. I felt like that was a direct attack on Kylan. She was like, if you do that, you are gross, you are disgusting, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, love y'all. Deuces. Bullshit.